I was camping alone when a voice whispered my name from the trees. And it wasn't human. It was something old, something hungry, and it wanted me to follow. Welcome to Friday 13, where every nightmare is real. And this one's mine. I'm Ethan, and this happened to me in October 2021. I've got photos to prove it. Stick around, because what called my name that night, it's still out there, waiting in the woods. For someone else to listen. It was a Friday evening in October 2021. I was 27, living in Portland, Oregon, and desperate for a break from the noise of the city. I'd always loved solo camping. It's just you, the wilderness, and that rare kind of quiet you can't find anywhere else. That weekend, though, I decided to push deeper into the Cascade Mountains than I'd ever gone before. The trail I picked was barely a path, overgrown with ferns, marked only by a few faded blazes on the trees. It wound through a valley where the air felt thick, heavy, like the forest was holding its breath. I told myself it was an adventure, a chance to test my limits. Looking back, I should have turned around the second I stepped onto that trail. I hiked for hours, the sun sinking lower with every step. By the time I found a spot to camp, a small clearing surrounded by pines, the light was nearly gone. The air was crisp, tinged with the smell of damp earth and pine needles. But something felt off. Too still, too cold for an October evening. The birds had stopped singing miles back, and the usual chatter of squirrels or rustle of deer was just gone. I shook it off, blaming exhaustion. I'd been on my feet all day. But as I pitched my tent, I noticed something strange. A symbol carved into a nearby tree. It was a jagged spiral, deep and weathered, like it'd been there for decades, maybe centuries. I traced it with my fingers, a chill creeping up my spine. Just an old trail marker, I told myself. But my voice sounded hollow, even to me. I set up camp as the last light faded, piling sticks for a fire. The flames crackled to life, casting flickering shadows across the trees. But the deeper the night got, the more the forest seemed to press in. The shadows stretched too long, too dark, like they were alive, reaching for me. I tried to distract myself, cooked some ramen on my portable stove, checked my gear, anything to keep my mind busy. But that feeling, that itch at the back of my neck, wouldn't go away. Ever been alone, somewhere, and felt like you weren't? That's where I was, miles from help, surrounded by trees that seemed to watch me. I crawled into my sleeping bag early, zipping the tent shut, telling myself it was just nerves. But sleep didn't come. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves, it was like the woods were whispering secrets I wasn't supposed to hear. I jolted awake at 3 a.m. to the sound of my name, quiet like a sigh. My eyes, Nap, my Ethan. My eyes snapped open, heart thudding. The fire was dead, just a pile of ash outside the tent. The air inside was freezing, sharp against my skin. I held my breath, straining to hear. There it was again, Ethan, coming from the trees beyond the clearing. My pulse raced. Was someone out there? I fumbled for my flashlight, hands trembling, and unzipped the tent just enough to peek out. The beam swept across the clearing, empty, silent. "Hello?" I called, my voice shaky. It echoed back, unanswered. I tried to convince myself it was the wind playing tricks, but the air was dead still, not a leaf moving. I stepped outside, barefoot on the cold ground, flashlight shaking in my grip. The voice, it was too real, too close. I scanned the trees, searching for a hiker, a camper, anyone who could have known my name. "Who's there?" I shouted. No answer. I told myself it was a prank, some local messing with me. But then I heard it again. Ethan, my name, spoken in my own voice, like an echo from the dark. My stomach twisted. I swung the flashlight around. And that's when I saw it. A shadow, tall and thin, slipping between the trees. My blood ran cold. Was it a person? An animal? I yelled again, "Show yourself!" The shadow froze. Then it whispered back, "Ethan, come closer." My name. My voice. But my lips hadn't moved. I stumbled back, my flashlight flickering like it was dying. The shadow started moving, slow, deliberate, toward me. I turned and bolted for the tent, zipping it shut, as if that flimsy nylon could protect me. But the whispers, they were inside now, circling me. Ethan's closed. We were inside now, circling me. Ethan, we're waiting. I clapped my hands over my ears, squeezing my eyes shut, muttering, "This isn't real, this isn't real." But it was. The air turned thick, damp, with a sour stench, like something rotting deep in the woods. My flashlight died completely, plunging me into darkness. I wasn't alone anymore. I could feel it, whatever it was, pressing closer. I grabbed my phone, praying for a signal. One bar flickered on, enough to try. I dialed 911, holding my breath as it rang. The line crackled, static buzzing, then voice, faint but clear. "We've been waiting, Ethan." My heart stopped. It wasn't an operator. It was the whisper, coming through the phone. I dropped it, the screen glowing in the dark, and lunged for my flashlight. Dead or not, I had to move. I unzipped the tent and stumbled out, the cold biting my skin. The shadow was there, standing at the edge of the clearing, its eyes glinting like wet glass. But it wasn't alone. More shapes slivered from the trees, tall and twisted, closing in. My throat tightened. What were they? I ran. Branches tore at my jacket, roots snagged my boots. But I didn't stop. The whispers chased me. "Ethan, don't leave." Their voices blending into a low, guttural hum. I crashed through the underbrush, my lungs burning, until I hit a clearing I didn't recognize. In the center, an old campsite, abandoned. A rotted tent sagged against a tree, rusted cans scattered in the dirt. And then I saw them. Bones, small and brittle, half buried in the soil. My stomach lurched. Deer, rabbits? Or something else? I froze, staring, as the whispers swelled behind me. I didn't wait to find out. I turned and kept running. The ground slipped down, slick with moss. I slipped down, slick with moss. I slipped, tumbling hard, pain exploding in my ankle. I hit the dirt, gasping, and scrambled up. The whispers, they were right behind me, their voices sharp, urgent. I limped forward, chest heaving, desperation clawing at me. Then I saw it, a narrow path, overgrown but familiar, cutting through the trees. It had to lead to the main road. I pushed through the pain, half running, half dragging myself, branches snapping underfoot. The shadows were everywhere now, darting between the trunks, their forms twisting, multiplying. I could feel them, their cold breath brushing my neck, their whispers sinking into my skull. "Stay, stay." I burst onto the main trail, nearly collapsing. The whispers, they stopped, sudden and total, like a switch flipped. Silence pressed in, deafening. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I staggered to my car, fumbling with the keys, my hands shaking so bad I dropped them twice. The engine roared to life, and I floored it, tires spinning on gravel. I drove straight to the ranger station, 20 miles away, shaking, bleeding from scratches I didn't remember getting. The rangers listened, skeptical, but sent a team to check. They found nothing. No shadows, no whispers. But they found the old campsite, the bones, and that symbol carved into the trees around it. The head ranger went pale. "Protection runes," he said, his voice tight. From what?
I asked.
He just shook his head, eyes on the floor. Oh, I haven't gone camping since.
I moved out of Portland, tried to leave it behind.
But the whispers, they follow me. Late at night, when the house is quiet, I hear it. A faint Ethan on the wind. I've had nightmares. Dark shapes in the trees, calling me back. I've dug into the history of those woods since then. Locals talk about a curse, something ancient that lives in the Cascades, something that calls to anyone who gets too close. I didn't believe in that stuff until that night. This was real. October 2021, Cascade Mountains. I've got photos of the rooms, the campsite, if you think I'm making it up. So, next time you're alone in the woods, listen close. Who's really out there? That's my story. True as the fear I still carry. If you've ever heard something you can't explain in the woods, drop it in the comments. I'll read every single one. If this got under your skin, smash that like button, subscribe, and share your own true horror story below. The scariest ones might just make it into our next video. And yours could be next. This is Friday 13, signing off, but keep your eyes on the trees. The shadows are always listening.